Natalie Harms, reporter for CoStar News Hotels, and I'm here today with Mark Sergot at the Hunter Conference. And Hunter, you're with IHG and you just started a new role, so tell me a little bit about the transition into Chief Development Officer of the Americas.
Sounds good. Well, Natalie, it's great to be with you and here at the Hunter Conference where the rooms are alive with opportunity and lots of attendees, even though with some weather delays, myself included, getting in a little later than planned, but it's great to be here. So yes, 60 days into this role as Chief Development Officer for the Americas with IHG. I've spent the last 60 days, as you can imagine, on the road, talking to owners, talking to developers, engaging with our teams internally, and really trying to understand the environment that's out there. So I come in at an interesting time, of course. We've had lots of challenges in the space with cost to build, with financing, with different environmental and economic issues going on. But I couldn't be more excited to be part of IHG in this capacity. I've been with the company for about 6 years, most recently leading our global sales organization, so ramping up our commercial delivery piece, which of course is critical to the work we do on behalf of our owners and developers every day as they're launching a new hotel with us or looking to engage with IHG. So it's been a busy time. It's been an exciting 60 days. And what I'm really excited about is the fact that IHG is on the move as an organization. So what do I mean by that? Well, we spent the last 10 years or so really fine-tuning a lot of those areas that are critical to the ownership community. So I mentioned commercial performance and the global sales organization that I represented. So putting in new programs, leading small, mid-sized enterprise business travel programs to help our hotels, no matter where they are in the ecosystem, perform at an even higher level. Our IHG One Rewards program, which has over 160 million members and growing rapidly day after day, puts us in a great space in that competitive loyalty environment. So we are on the move. We've added a couple more brands in the last couple of years, most recently the Noted Collection, which is a conversion brand, kind of in that premium mid-scale space. We've just launched about a year ago the Ruby brand, brought it to the US, and signed our first deal in Chicago just a couple months back. So there's just a lot of excitement in the organization. Last year, globally, we signed 700 new deals. We opened about 440 hotels here in the Americas. We signed about 270 deals and opened about 180 new hotels last year. So the momentum continues, and it's an exciting time to be part of IHG. And I think for owners and developers who don't know us, I invite you to get to know us. Yeah. We've got a great story, we've got a lot of momentum, we've got great brands, and so if you don't know us, come talk to us. Yeah. Learn about this company that's on the move. We have a long heritage. We have brands that have been around for decades, but we've also got some new stuff and some new exciting opportunities to talk about. So again, I invite those who don't know us or haven't been a part of us in conversations recently to get to know us and get to know some of the brands and opportunities that we have. Yeah,
well, you're very much hitting the ground running in this new position. So, you talked a little bit about some of the brands. What are the brands that have really high growth potential here in the Americas for
Sure.
IHG?
So we just announced yesterday that our Garner brand, which is a conversion brand that we launched a couple years ago, has now hit over 100 hotels around the world. So our fastest growing brand in this conversion space, which has been about 50% of the deals that we've signed, similar to what we've seen with our competitors. So a high degree of opportunity in that space, and Garner provides a great entry point into the IHG ecosystem for owners who are looking for that change, who are looking to potentially step away from an independent hotel or another brand and look to join the ranks of IHG with that light conversion model. So Garner is definitely one that's on the move for us. Again, hitting that 100 hotel milestone just this last week or so. We expect considerable growth this year with the Garner brand in the U.S. and globally as well. And then if we look at Ruby, we expect, as we've just started to introduce that into the U.S., to be a brand that we see in major metropolitan areas and secondary markets. Again, this brand is meant to be an opportunity to take existing historical buildings and convert those into hotels, or an existing hotel that is in a great location where an owner is looking to inject a new life into it. This kind of lifestyle concept that's been very successful across Europe, now opening again, as I said, in Chicago. And then as we look across our other brands, Voco has been another conversion brand opportunity that has taken off dramatically, both here in the Americas and globally. So I think whether it's one of our more recent brands, Avid, Atwell, our suites product, Garner, Voco, or one of our existing brands, Staybridge or Holiday Inn Express, we've got a brand for really every travel occasion and a brand for really every ownership group, depending on what they're looking for, in what market. We think we have a need or an opportunity for them to fulfill those needs.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you mentioned the conversion opportunities too, and the conversion-focused kind of brands. There definitely seems to be a lot more people thinking of conversion opportunities over development opportunities. So you're seeing that momentum. Yes,
certainly. We, as I said, 50% or so of our signings last year were in this conversion space. Some of those converting within 30, 60 days, some of them a little bit longer. But there is an appetite within the development and ownership community to perhaps move away from brands that they've been associated with them, where perhaps there hasn't been the performance they were looking for, or perhaps they see an opportunity in a market to up-brand to something different. And I think it also speaks to the power of our commercial engine and our offerings, that we have developers and ownership groups looking to us to take them from where they were, let's say, at point A, and move them to a stronger point B, in terms of performance by engaging with IHG with one of our conversion brands. So, as I said, we've built all of that capability, and now we're starting to see the ownership community, development community interested as they're seeing those results and hearing about the success stories that we've had as we've launched brands such as Garner.
Okay, I want to zoom in a little bit on Mexico and Canada. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of the growth strategies for those?
Sure. Well, Canada is another great success story. We just hit 200 open hotels in Canada. We are actively working across the Canadian cities, secondary markets, to grow all of our brands. So from Intercontinental all the way to our Candlewood Suites product, we see demand. And we also see demand in this conversion space. So we have great resources. We're doubling down on our approach in Canada. And again, we're excited to have hit that 200 open hotel mark. Mexico and in generally Latin America remains a priority market for us. So we've had some considerable success across all of our 21 brands there. And we see really limitless opportunities in that space. So whether it's resorts on the waterfront, beach resorts, or city center hotels, we'll open another Intercontinental in Mexico City shortly. We opened a great Kimpton just outside of Cabo, the Kimpton Mazolas, late last year. So we've got a lot of momentum across our brands in Mexico and in Latin America. And again, we see that as a very powerful growth market for IHG.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone's talking about World Cup expectations, and I wonder, from your perspective, from the brand side of things, how are you looking at this as a demand driver?
Sure, so anytime we can have the world's attention on a particular geography or geographical area, we're excited about it. And so I think for the North American region, if you will, this is a great opportunity for folks to not only come in and participate and engage, attend one of the matches in one of the great cities in which these are being hosted, but it also gives the eyes of the world those who are watching at home or in a bar or a pub somewhere, the ability to see and experience these great cities and these great locations through the lens of the match and the environment around those. So for us, we look at it as a great opportunity to have a significant demand driver enter many of our markets. And that's on top of the great business travel that's happening, where we expect this year business travel globally to grow around that 5% mark. We continue to see strength in the groups and meetings segment. I mentioned the small, mid-sized enterprise travel. That continues to accelerate. So this is, kind of the icing on the cake in terms of additional demand. What I will say is that while there is a lot of activity and expected to be more demand in those markets, there still is going to be opportunity for those folks who want to come into one of those markets for business travel, for a meeting, for an event, whatever it might be. These are, additional demand opportunities, but there's still capacity for other business. I think sometimes when these big events come in, people tend to shy away from those markets. And what I would say is go engage in those markets, plan your travel as normal, and enjoy the other experiences that are going on around the games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're 60 days into your role. We're just a little bit more than that into the year. What trends have you been seeing? I know we talked about conversion activity, but what's kind of on your radar as you go into the next 60 days?
Sure. Well, I think the great thing as we start this year is we've seen a further advancing of the business environment. So what do I mean specifically? Today, as I was heading over here, I read some stories around what Delta and American Airlines are seeing in terms of first quarter travel. So they're seeing significant bumps in travel that they weren't expecting. So higher levels of business travel, higher levels of luxury travel, that luxury leisure travel. So that's a great backdrop to start the year. That our partners and airlines are seeing that. We're seeing certainly more activity than we had, expected to see coming out of the gates here in January, February, and as we get into March. So that's a great backdrop. As I think about the opportunities both here at Hunter and what we expect to come out of this is more interest from developers in moving plans forward. There has been this backdrop of higher costs, et cetera, but we see more ground breaks. We see more interest in moving forward. And I think the lessons more broadly when we've had economic concerns, higher interest rates, tariffs, et cetera, is that business has to continue. Mm-hmm. And our partners have plans, and we want to be an important part of that success. So how do we work together to figure out a way in which we can help them get that project out of the ground and ultimately open to drive the revenues and the profit that they want. So my job is to make sure that we are positioned well. We've got the right people, we've got the right stories to tell, and then we're inviting folks, as I mentioned earlier, that may have not had an opportunity to engage with IHG, that may not know us well, to come to the table, to have a conversation with us, to discover this new and on-the-move IHG hotels and resorts that I've mentioned, because we have a powerful story. We've got great people driving great progress, and we're confident that we can offer our partners and developers, owners, a really strong value proposition today. And so I'm just excited about being here and telling that story.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great message to end on. So Mark, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great rest of your conference.
Thank you, great to be with you.
Hi, I'm Davon Reed.
I'm Omari Head.
And I'm Chris Henry.
We're the hosts of the Next Gen and Lodging podcast on the Hotel News Now podcast network. It's a monthly show in which we interview a new generation of hoteliers to get their insights into a variety of disciplines and topics, from finance to food and beverage and hotel operations. Listen to us on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode of the CoStar News Hotels podcast was recorded on March 17th, 2026 by Meredith Sheridan at the 2026 Hunter Conference and was edited for the podcast by me, Natalie Harms. Find all hotel industry news at costar.com/hotelnews. Thanks for listening.